Contestant number 2, Phil Barth. 4-color pen. 4-color pen, Phil Barth.
Behold, that wonderful communication tool, one of the most effective tools in the world, the 4-color pen. I remember getting my first 4-color pen. My grandmother gave it to me when I was in 3rd grade. At that point, a 4-color pen and a notebook was an hour's worth of entertainment for me, and an hour's worth of silence for my parents. Contest chair, fellow Toastmasters, and fellow 4-color fanatics. A lot of people outgrow the 4-color pen. I haven't outgrown anything. But certainly not my 4-color pen. All through my life, I have used it when I'm journaling. I have used it to take notes at work. And when I'm on a boring conference call, I use it to doodle. In fact, I was at my desk at home, October 2018, journaling with my 4-color pen, when my son walked in the room and said, "Dad, I want to go on a mission trip to build a medical center in Peru." I said, "That's great, Tom," and I opened up the black ink and said, "Proud dad moment." And he said, "And Dad, I want you to go with me." I said, "Oh," and I took my red pen and said, "How am I going to get out of this?" I said, "Well, Tom, let me think about it." He left the room, and I opened the blue ink and said, "Things I know about Peru. It's in South America." And when I thought about it, excuse me, for a while, I realized that there were a few things I knew about Peru. It was a different culture. It was different language. And I was sure that there were a lot more differences that I was going to have to adjust to if I was going. And of course, I was going. I couldn't tell my son no, not when I saw his passion. So I decided I need to find out what some of these unknown differences are. Now, Tom took a little bit different path than I did. He wanted to explore some of the differences, so he decided to drink the official soft drink of Peru, Inca Kola, available only in Peru and jungle gyms. He tried some of it. He said, "Oh, Dad, it's great. It tastes just like bubble gum." I tried. I said, "Oh, it's different." As time went by between that day and July, I learned some of the differences we would be experiencing in Peru. There would be dogs in the street. Don't pet them unless you like rabies shots. Glad I don't have a needle like you. There would be bars on the doors, bars on the windows to keep any criminals out at night. And I could deal with those, but the one that really threw me was they said, when you get to Peru, what we've done in the past is there's one person with a satellite phone at the center. They will call one person back in the United States and let them know that you have arrived safely. And they will not hear from you for the next 10 days. Now, I travel for work, but I always know that my wife and my family is a text away or a phone call away. I did not like the idea of being cut off in a place where there were going to be dogs in the street, bars on the doors, and not being able to talk to my family. We took off, and the first leg of our journey concluded in Lima, Peru, in the airport. We decided we had a few hours, so we decided to get something to drink. I went to the restaurant, and I had practiced a little Spanish ahead of time, so I thought, here's my chance to use that Spanish. I looked at the man at the counter. I said, "Yo quiero Coca-Cola Coca-Cola sin azúcar. I want a Coke Zero. Y él quiere, I pointed to my son, Inca Cola. Now, that was really good communication on my part. And it would have been fine if he never talked back. But he waited a minute, and then he said something that sounded like, well, we're out of Inca Cola. And he held up an Inca Cola Zero, and he said something like, would an Inca Cola Zero suffice? I'm like, it's his drink, sure. I said, está bien. They were out of Coke Zero. And I had just signed up to drink an Inca Cola Zero. I thought, well, this trip's off to a great start. About 3 days in on the trip, as I'm walking through the medical center, my phone rang. Somebody from Ohio. They butt dialed me. But as I sat there, I thought, wait a minute. If somebody from Ohio can butt dial me in Peru, I'll bet I could butt dial my wife. Or alternately, I could just call her. So I did. It wasn't the call she was expecting. She said, how's it going? I said, I don't know why I'm here. There are dogs in the street. Single-family households are the norm. People are dirt poor. We're trying to help them, but there is so much work to be done. There are bars on the door. There is smog in the air. Every time I look out the window, I see poverty. I then handed the phone to Tom. She said, how's it going? He said, I love it here. The people are awesome. I'm making new friends. Every time I look out the window, I see the Andes Mountains. It suddenly occurred to me that Tom was handling the differences a lot better than I was. You see, Tom saw the differences too. He just appreciated them. I saw the differences as something bad. He saw them as something to cherish. With my new attitude from Tom, I started meeting some of the kids that were coming in the medical center. And it turns out that those kids, just like me when I was a kid, love 4-color pens. I gave one to a little girl named Leslie. And I gave her my notebook. And she started drawing. I have been writing in my notebooks with 4-color pens for all my life. And if you had asked me before July of last year, what's the favorite thing you've got in your notebook? I wouldn't have had an answer. But I do now. The 4-color pen. 4 different colors. Molecularly, they're all the same. They flow out of the pen the same, but they all have differences. And when we appreciate those differences and enjoy those differences, we wind up with the most beautiful picture imaginable. Contest chair.